Right, fret friends, as promised, this is the refret video of my 2007 Mexican Fender Strat, and I bought it just as a plain standard Strat, white pickguard, white pickups, standard sunburst, everything else, all chrome hardware, blah blah blah, and I golded everything, blah 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 blah, and gold tuners. But what I'm going to do is now I'm going to refret it. And I'm going to refret for two reasons. One, I want it gold anyway to match all the gold hardware, which will look great. And two, the frets have got quite a bit of wear at the at this end, at the headstock end. I didn't know, and the seller didn't really know how bad it was when I bought the guitar, and I wasn't too pissed off about it because I'm going to refret it anyway. And there you go. Here's the fret wire, and it's Jescar EVO Gold, 2.6mm, I believe. It's about 2.6 by about 1.2 high, virtually the exact same size as a fret wire on here. So I'm going to remove the neck, remove all the hardware, put that away, and I'm going to get the frets out. But I will show you me getting the frets out. So it's going to be fun on this one. Really looking forward to getting this one done. So stay tuned. I'll be back very soon. Okay, so prepping to refret this guitar, one of my own guitars, and I'm going to show you what I do. You'll see I've removed the tuners and the machine heads. I've left the string trees on there because they're not going to get in the way. And this is how I personally like to remove a nut. And sometimes they come out neat, sometimes they don't. But what I like to do, especially with a Fender type like this, is I like to take a thin bladed screwdriver like so and just get it on the end of the nut. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to tap it with a fretting hammer with a nylon end, and sometimes they come out nice and easy, and sometimes they don't. If they don't come out easy or don't come out on a couple of taps, what I do is I'll do a different method. I'll cut it, in fact I'll cut it in half down the length, and I'll break it in on itself and remove it that way. But sometimes it's just a tap. You don't want to hit the wood, you want to hit the nut, and all you're going to do is just give it a tap. I've already done this and I've already moved it out. You see, and it's already moved. So all I'm going to do is just tap it out like so, and that's it. It's slid across and it's out, and that has come out. There's a tiny chip just on this edge, but that has come out clean, so I can use this nut again, which is fantastic. Now the thing is, the slots may be too deep, so I'll probably go with a new one anyway, because I do have some Fender nuts in stock, some of the proper Fender ones made of cyclovac. But if I could reuse this nut, I would, because it's been cut so well. So I'm going to measure the height of these frets when I get them out, and measure the height of the new frets. I would like to use this again if possible, but if not, it's no big deal. It just means I've got to cut a new one. So next part of the process is I'm going to remove these frets, and I'm going to remove them using heat. I have an adapted soldering iron where I'm going to get some heat into the fret, and I'm just going to lift them. And what we want to do is keep chipping to a minimum. We don't want to put any holes in this in these edges either. But I'm sure we'll get them out nice and clean. If not, it will be no problem for me to fix the fingerboard. It's my own guitar, so I will be taking my time, as I always do. So back in a moment. So quick explanation of how I'm going to remove these frets. And I do have an adapted 40-watt soldering iron where I've bent a bit and I've put a groove in it. Not see it from there. I'll put a groove in it so it fits a fret. And all I'm going to do is, I'm a little bit close to the camera, but I think I can work around it. I'm in fact going to work on this one here, and I'll show you how it works. So if I go for number 5, I'll zoom in just a little. And where are we? We're going to go here, number 5. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat the fret. And what this is going to do is it's going to melt any glue that's holding this fret. And if there's any glue in there, I'm just going to get some heat in there, and I will get a little bit of hissing, a little bit of steam if there is any glue in there. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be pulling it with a fret puller, which is this thing. It's basically a plier with a ground flat edge, so I can get right into the fret. I'll show how that works in a minute. And then I'm going to go through with a Stumac chip stopper, which this will slide under the fret, and I slide this along as I remove the fret, and it should stop me getting. It won't stop me getting all chips, but it'll stop most of the chips. I'm expecting some chipping anyway. If I don't get any chipping on this, it'll be absolutely remarkable. It'll be a miracle. So I'm just going to heat the fret. Surely there must be some heat in there now. There's no hissing, so they've probably not been glued in. But anyway, so I'm going to get the fret puller and I'm just going to try and get it into the edge. And there you go. And that's it, it's pulled up on one edge, and now I'm going to take the chip stopper, just going to slide that in. If I get it lined up, I'm going to slide that in as like so. It's hard for me not to get in the way, and that's it. I'm going to push that in as I slide. And there you go, that is one fret removed, and there is no chipping there to speak of. So that has gone very well. I'll move on to the next one. Same thing, just heat it up. Removing frets, you really have to take your time, because the less chips you get, the less chips you've got to repair. And I'm expected to get some chipping, and I'm expected to have to repair some chipped areas, but you know, let's try and keep it to a minimum, because the less time I spend repairing chips, the less time I spend working on the guitar. Not getting any great hiss in there. I will be re-radiusing the fingerboard as well before I refret this, just to make sure that everything's even. Right, that should be warming off. Same again. I always go to the outside edge because that's the edge I don't see. You know, if I'm looking, if I'm playing, I'm only going to see the side closest to me. And if I cause any damage, it's going to be at that far side. So anyway, chip stopper in. And you see how that's worked, and again, no chipping. Oh, that's one. That is wonderful. Same thing again, just one more, just for good luck. No chips anywhere so far. I'm really liking this. I've not done a refret for a while. A few weeks, 4, 5, 6 weeks. Last one I did was a bass, a jazz bass, a Precision, a deluxe jazz bass. This went really well. Not done the guitar for a while. Okay, I think we're going to be warm there. So now very careful, just get the, don't force anything, just coax it out. We don't want to be digging into the wood. There you go. This is already trying to chip. I can see the chips there trying already. Maybe I didn't get enough heat in there. And there you go. Again, tried to chip there but no chipping. That's absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to crack on, get all of the frets removed. Just before I do go, once I've removed the frets, I'll be cleaning all of the slots. So I may as well show you this now because I'm going to crack on with this. And I do have a fret slotting saw. This is a special blade, but it's exactly 0.5 millimetre wide, which is the same width as these slots. And you see it has a depth gauge there, and it will only cut to that depth. And it is absolutely perfect for recutting fret slots, as you can see. So there you go, and that's what I'll be doing as well. And that fret slot is now clear and cut and ready for a new fret. And that really is how difficult it is. Not at all. So those two slots are ready, cut for a new fret already. So I'm going to crack on, get all the rest removed. I will come back and give an update tomorrow. Right guys, I decided whilst doing the refret, I'm going to replace these plastic white dot inlays which look really naff. So I'm going to replace them with mother of pearl. I thought about going with gold mother of pearl. I'm not going to replace them with mother of pearl, told a lie there. I'm going to replace them with Abalone Inlays because I think they're going to really go well against the gold frets. In fact, I'm pretty sure they will go well with the gold frets. So rather than go for the yellow mother of pearl ones or the gold mother of pearl, go with Abalone like I said. So I need to remove these. And what I've done is I've drilled a hole just with a very small 2mm drill bit. And I've drilled a hole just through, not too deep. That is not too deep. It's as deep as the hole anyway. And now I'm going to remove them. And I saw a trick where you put the drill bit in upside down and wiggle it, it'll bring it up, but that wasn't working. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to put a big fat screw inside there. Just give it one turn and I'm going to wiggle it till it comes out like so, and there you go. It really is that simple. And what I will do is when I put the new inlays in, I shall drop some glue in there. That's not deep enough. I'll drop a little bit of glue in there, and if I get to squeeze out, it's going to be fine because I need to re-radius the board anyway. So there you go. Hope that is chewing into a bit of wood, but there you go. That is all the inlays out. I'm now ready for the new ones. I will be re-radiusing the whole fingerboard anyway, so we'll do that. We'll clear up any mess. There was no mess at all with these ones. Oh, that's fantastic. Really impressed with how that's gone. Anyway, so it's put the refret off by another week because I've got to wait for the inlays to get here. They will be here in the middle of next week. So this one's on hold for a little while, but I'll come back and give you an update when I have one. So my abalone dot markers have arrived and I've laid them out and I want them in the guitar, and we're going to get them in. And I've not really worked out how I'm going to get them in, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop some, I'm just mixing up some epoxy, 30-minute epoxy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop some in each hole. Get a good mix. I'm just going to put a little dollop in each hole. I'm going to put more in than I need. And we're going to make a mess, and we're not bothered about that because we're going to clean it all up. What I'm going to do is, I've got 30 minutes before this goes off, so I've got plenty of time. I'll take the cocktail stick and I will just make sure we've got some in each one, because we're going to get, this is all going to force out shortly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a marker and I'm just going to put them in. I'm not putting them in any specific way. I'm just going to get them in. I'm going to slightly tap them in, just using a little piece of wood, my fretting hammer, just to get them in. And they are going to sit bad by the looks of it. Just want to make sure we're not going to pop out. There you go. Take a piece of tissue, clean up any excess glue. We're going to be levelling this top anyway and filing these off, but they're in. So I probably don't really need to tap these down. That was wobbling a bit. Maybe I've got too much glue in there previous. That's going to be a little bit of a problem because I think that hole in there got too much glue in from a previous fill. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that out, drop it on there a second. I'm just going to scrape inside that hole. Scrape inside there, try and level it off, and that's pretty good. Let's do it that way. Put a little bit more glue in there. And it doesn't matter as long as we get the surface, get them all levelled on the surface. But I've never done this before. Stick it back in. And it's still not going to sit level. So what we're going to do is, I don't like the look of that one. I'm going to leave that one till last because I'm going to scrape the glue out. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do that one yet. I'm going to scrape that out and do that one later. So I'm going to save that inlay there. Let's move on to the next two. I don't like how it's sitting in there. That was pretty much the same. So maybe these went in really shallow originally. I missed one out, right, I missed that one out, that's okay. I mean, with the glue in there anyway, they are going to be fine. It just means I've got to file a little bit more down. Where's my, oh, there it is. And I do have spares. This cloth is wet. I wet it on purpose just to get the glue up, spill out. So, okay. They will have glue underneath, so it's not a problem. I think we should just crack them in. You know what? I'm just going to bag them in. I can remove any excess material from the top later. Just make sure they're seated nice. So I'm going to crack on, get these in. If we're not happy with this one, I can always remove it and put another one in. But I'm going to crack on, I'm going to get these in, I'm going to let them set, and we'll come back later and we will take off and we'll file them down and we'll start to shape the neck. Okay guys, so I don't know how good that looks to you, but I have got the inlays in, I've got most of them filed down, I've got two more to do. And I'm going to just show you how we do that. And it's the first time I've ever done it myself, so you're learning as I'm learning it. And it's gone really, really well. And I take a coarse-ish file, well this is a fine file, that's a number 4 file, with Swiss one for smoothing off. I'm going to take quite a coarse file, which is about a number 2, like so, and I'm just going to bring these down and bring them close. I'm going to get, this file's not straight, so it's got a bit of an arc, so I'm going to go that way. I'm hoping you can see enough, I'm sure you can see enough. And I'm going to bring it close. It doesn't matter if I get some lines in the fingerboard because I've got to re-radius the board anyway, so I'm going to smooth it all off. And that's getting pretty close. You get to see, look at that, absolutely beautiful. It's still a little bit proud. But I'll finish off with a smooth file in a minute. I've got this one to do. Again, it's just a little bit proud, but only a little bit. And these have come out really, really well. And just for the sake of doing this video, I'm going to put some oil on my fingerboard in a moment. Now I'm going to take my Swiss number 4 cut Valorbe file. It's got a flat edge here, perfectly flat, and I'm just going to smooth over. And there, just smooth over. And that is the mother of pearl inlays done, and that looks fantastic. Really, really nice. I will alter the camera in a bit and I'll hold this up to the camera before I do the radius, but they look fantastic. They've gone in really, really well. Still a little bit proud, that one, so but we will get it right. I'm really, first time I've ever done this, and they've gone in absolutely brilliant. I'm going to spray some oil on there just for the sake of this video. And that's it. And we've got some water and oil in the slots here. Clean the slots out. I use my fret slotting file. Just these look absolutely brilliant. So there you go. How good is that? So it's the first time I've done that, and they have come out brilliant. Really, really pleased. Clearing the slots. Don't really have to do this now, just don't want any gunk staying in there. Next part of the process is I'm going to be re-radiusing the fingerboard. So I'm going to get my 9.5 inch aluminium radius beam, sanding beam. I'm going to get some coarse sandpaper on there. I'm going to re-radius this whole board, but first I'm going to get my neck set, loosen off the truss rod. And I want to get it, I don't want really that much tension. So I'm going to release the tension, then turn it back 1/2 turn, and then whatever the neck is saying, I'm going to level it to where the truss rod is. Because the truss rod, I believe, has tension on it. So there you go. That is absolutely wonderful. It looks a lot better than the white does. They look fantastic. Really, really pleased with that. So good. And not a difficult job to do at all. Can I zoom in a little? Or should I hold this up to the camera and give you a better... Let's turn it around and you may get a better idea of how good do those look. Any good? I'm really, really pleased with those. Fantastic. Good job. Well done. So the Abalone Inlays I really did on a whim, and I'm really glad I did now because I'm going to show you. And I've oiled the fingerboard just to show you the effect of how they are and how they look. And I know the light's not fantastic, but what do you think to those? Don't they look better than the white dots? They look fantastic. I'm really, really pleased with how they've come out. So you get it all on camera. There you go. How good do they look? So that's it. I'm now going to crack on, prepare the board ready for re-radiusing tomorrow. And I will show you how we do that tomorrow. Okay, good morning friends. And it is morning. It's about 6 AM, just coming up to 6 AM. And I've been up, I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning, so I thought, I'm going to get up and go down to the workshop. And here I am. And you don't want to see me, you want to see the guitar. And you'll see that we are on the jig, the neck jig. And not a lot of guitars go on the neck jig, but when I need to do something like level a fingerboard, blah, 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 it does go on the neck jig, and it is there today. And the problem with this guitar is, with the truss rod completely loosened, we've got a bit of relief in there, or it's not back bow, so what do we call it, forward bow? I don't know. But the guitar bows this way, like a smile shape, and it was high this end, and low in the middle. So what I decided to do was shave some, because the rosewood's a little bit thicker on this end than it is this end, so I thought I'm going to shave some off the both ends until we meet in the middle. And you can't see from where you are, but where I oiled the fingerboard when I put the inlays in, we still have some oil in this area because I've removed stuff from that. I've removed material from this end and from this end. And what I do, or I'll do that is, I take some 80 grit sandpaper like so on a 9.5 inch radius block. And I've already done this, I've removed as much from this end as I want to. I don't want to go any lower, so I'm going to remove just from here. And all I'm going to do is just basically just remove material from that end, trying to keep in the radius block as straight and level as I can. And I'm almost exactly where I need to be. Let me just grab the not straight edge. You'll see there, I have the tiniest bit of relief just in this area, and that's hardly anything now. It's about 1/10 of a millimetre, so we're very, very close to where I need to be. Now I could actually leave that little bit of relief in there, because when I put the frets in, we're going to bend the neck slightly back. But I can still, even by eye, I can tell it's higher on this end than it is here. So I'm going to keep going until we get rid of all this oil, because we're going to basically, I want the old fingerboard dry. And it's more important to just keep the beam straight as you push through. I will smooth this off. This is 80 grit on there at the moment. I will smooth it off with 400 grit just to give us that nice finish. And I'm just brushing off the excess rosewood dust, because I'll be sweeping that up and using that later. Well, I won't be using it later, but I'll put it in a bag and I'll use that for filling areas, chipped areas. Now you'll notice I had a bit of chip, quite a lot of chip out at this end of the guitar. I have none now because I've filed through it. I've smoothed it off and I've gone deep enough to get it all off. So I won't have any chips to repair. And this is looking really, really good. It's feeling super smooth. We only have a little bit of oiled area now, so we've basically virtually got this flat. I can just go backwards and forwards, being as steady as I can be. I want to maintain my 9.5 inch radius up and down the board, and we've only got a little bit of oil left on the fingerboard there, so we are just about level. And that's all the oil removed. I'm just going to brush again, and I think I will find that this fingerboard is now level and the neck is level. And that creates a great canvas for the new frets, because we have a straight neck. A little spot of oil in there. And let's just try that. And that is straight enough for me. There's relief in there, not even worth measuring. Do I have a light to stick behind that? I actually don't. Okay, let's have a look, see where we are. There you go, that's not even worth bothering about. We have a straight fingerboard. I'm really, really pleased with that. So we are now ready to put the new frets in. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to hand finish this with some 400 grit paper just to smooth it all off. And we'll be ready for the new frets. I'll be removing it from a jig to install the frets. So let me just get this cleaned up and we can move on. I've just smoothed off with 400 grit sandpaper. We've maintained the radius and we have the neck and the fingerboard level and flat. I'm really, really pleased with how that's gone. That is fantastic. We had at least half a millimetre dip in here and it's now gone. Just by removing material a little bit from this end and quite a bit more from this end, we made the rosewood a little bit more uniform. We've removed not a lot, maybe 1/3 of a millimetre. We're just getting to, we don't want to go any deeper because we're not going to get the new frets in without digging into the maple. So but I'm really pleased with that. And something else, a little bonus is we have ourselves a nice little pile on this over there. There you go. There you go. We have ourselves a nice pile of rosewood dust that can go into the stained maple dust I've got from a 1964 Rickenbacker. I had a refret a few years ago on a 64 Rose Morris 330 series, and we're going to stick that in there. And that is beautiful, and that's gone in, and it's a little bit darker, but we're going to get that, we'll seal it up and get it all mixed in. And this will be used for filling jobs in the future. Now, a good thing about mixing this anyway, we'll mix it with super glue when we do filling jobs or chip repairs, and it goes dark anyway. And that's it, that's fantastic. So it's a nice big bag of repair dust there. Fantastic rosewood and maple repair dust, beautiful. All I need to do now is I need to make sure that the fret slots are deep enough to accept the new frets. And I've already done that, and I've been across with my, this is a special saw with a special 1/2 mm blade by Barco that is the right width for the slot tang, or the fret tang should I say. It's an 1/2 mm blade, and you see there's a depth stop there, so I can only cut as deep as that blade is. And I've already been across and I've recut all of the fret slots, and I'm at the wrong angle to do this, but I'll show you how it works, and that's how it works. I can only go as deep as this guide will let me, so I'm not going to cut through the guitar, and I've already been across and done it. And how I check the depth is another great tool from Guitars and Woods in Portugal, GMW, and it has 4 different sizes. It's got a flat, it's got a 15 inch to 20 inch, a 10 inch to 14 inch, and the side I'm going to use is 7 1/4 inch to 9 1/2 inch. And what we do is, if we cover that first line on the bottom there that you see, we know we are deep enough for the new frets. And I've already checked them, and these are all deep enough. And that is it. And it's just a matter of going in there on the depth slot, and there you go, absolutely fine. So the new frets are going to go in without a problem. So that's it, ready for the new frets. I just want to show the neck as it is. Now I've got the new inlays in there. They may look good, the Abalone Inlays as well. So we are now ready to put the new frets in, which I will be doing sometime this week. I am waiting for a new tool to come from Germany, a fret tang nipper. Even though my nippers are pretty okay, they don't cut as flush as the new ones will do. So I'm going to start this. I'll probably start this on Wednesday. So check back. In this part of the video, I'm going to try and show how I prepare the frets for going in. And I'll explain what I'm doing first, and then I'll try and show you a little bit afterwards. So I get my fret, and I always cut them longer than I need to. And they're radiused, slightly over radiused, just a little bit, so they're more or less as they need to be. And what I do is, I'm going to remove the tang from each edge until it's the same width, more or less, of the neck, or where it's going to go in the fret slot. And what that means is, when I come to pressing this in, we're going to have hardly anything sticking out the edge, if at all. And it means when it comes to filing the bevels, I'm not going to have to remove any of the tang. And it means also when I come to snipping the edges, blah 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 blah, I can get it flush right to the body without bending the tang and causing a bit of a kerfuffle, because you want them in perfectly straight. You want that perfect T-shape when you put the frets in. This is the top of it, this is the fret itself, you know, and that's the tang bit, and we don't want it kinking over when we cut to this edge. So I've already done these two, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show, or I'm going to try to show, and you see this, it's more or less exactly the correct width. It's probably a tiny bit over. And when it goes in, it will be more or less flush to the body of the guitar. And I'm going to show how I do that. And you see here, I've got one here, and it's too wide, and the tang is all intact. So what I'm going to do is, first, I'm not going to use this cutter to cut that because it doesn't cut it the neatest. I'm going to use my old cutter. And I'm just going to nip off. And I always try and get it on the tang between the barbs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove a little bit of a fret from each end, get it to where I think I need it to be, and that has bent over the tang, as you can see there, and that's why I need a better fret tang nibber. So it's always best, I've got a nib off there, that's fine. So let's just see where we are, and I'm going to do this the correct way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the tang first. I'm going to do it the right way. So I've got a tang cutter here, and I'll show you how I work the tang cutter, and I'll show you if I can. So to cut a fret, I need to get it in the nibber, or the nipper there, and you've got that on camera, that's fantastic. I'm just going to remove some of the tang, and I want it about, there you go, that's pretty good. I'm going to do the same this side, just start removing the tang, and I'll keep checking back. Very awkward for me to do this sideways, but there you see, I'm just exactly where I need to be. Now what I need to do is, we do have a jagged edge there, and I need to remove that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the flat, we have a safe edge on this file, and so I want that safe edge hitting the tang, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to go across, I'm going to remove the rest of that tang, and I'll keep checking, make sure I don't go too deep. It doesn't matter because this is not going in the guitar anyway. The excess will be cut off. But with that safe edge there, I'm not cutting any more of this tang away, so that's going to remain intact. So it doesn't matter. As long as I get all of the tang off. You see there, we removed it all just about, just a little bit more. And again with this side, just removing the excess. Puts a lot more time on the job doing this, but it's worth it. It is so worth it, just to get it all nice and neat. And anything, if the tang goes inside the guitar at the edge, which is kind of what I really want anyway, I can cover it with some rosewood dust later on, drop some super glue in there, and you're not even going to see the fret edges. But I don't mind seeing the fret edges, to be honest. So there you go. That's 2 done. And this one, just check. That is perfect. Again, in there. Just make sure we're where we need to be. And what I'm going to do is now I'm going to take my new cutter, end cutter, I'm going to go right up to the tang, and I'm just going to nip off that end. Same again this side, I'm going to slide it right up to the edge of the tang. I'm going to nip off this end, and there you go. We've got the fret more or less. It's the correct width. It's still slightly overlapping on the edges, which is great because I still have to file these bevels myself. But look at that, it's going to go in a lot neater. We're going to have no bent tang, and that is how I prepare the frets for installation. I'm going to crack on, get the others done. It's going to take me quite a while, but I'll get these all prepped, ready to go in, and later on we can come back and we can start getting these frets in. So, as it's Christmas time and things are a little bit hectic, I've actually moved on with the refret. I've got the frets in, I've edged them, and I've beveled the edges as well. So the frets are more or less done, barring levelling and recrowning. What I'm just doing is, I've just had to replace one fret because it did have a ding in it. I don't know how it got there, but what I need to do is I need to find a flat edge of my file, or the safe edge, which is there, and I'm just going to round off this fret. And it's just a matter of 3 strokes, that way and this way. Now I'm doing that one backwards, I should be going this way, I should turn around and do it the other way, just to remove these burrs off the edge. But that's done now, and these frets are now ready to be levelled. All of them have gone in well. There are a couple just a little bit high, probably number 11 where I've just put in is probably going to rock a little bit, just a tiny bit. Yeah, it is rocking a little bit. I could get a clamp on there, just clamp them down and just let them hold for an hour or two, which I'm probably going to do. Once that's done, we're ready to do the levelling. Now the thing is, with it being Boxing Day today, there's a lot of football on, which I'm going to be watching, so I'm not going to be working a lot. I'm just going to be doing this at my leisure. But I hope to get this one done and completed and back on the guitar by the end of tomorrow. So come back later and show you how we get on with the levelling. So I've levelled the frets using 9.5 inch radius beam, just basically to keep the radius, make sure we keep the radius. So we've gone across all of the frets. Once we start getting all the pen removed on the top of the frets, I've gone across with a fret levelling beam, which has 2 grits of paper, 240 as is on this radius beam, 240 and 400. 400 just to remove the scratches put on there with the more coarse 240 grit. And I've been across and checked all of the frets with the fret rocker. We shall just wipe that. Blah, blah, blah. You can go on any of these frets anywhere and just test and check that they are all level. And they are. I've already checked more than once. Blah, 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 blah. But now we've levelled them with each other. Where we have a crown or the arc going this way across the fret, we've now flattened the tops, and we need to put that arc back in, and that is exactly what we are going to do. And I'm going to use a variation of files to do this, and I have 3 different files. And the one I'm going to use mainly is this one, and it's a 3-edge file with the edges ground flat, so we don't mark the fingerboard. even though we've got tape on there, we can't mark the fingerboard because it's ground flat. And what we do is we're going to build up that arc. How we're going to do it is we're going to take a marker pen, we're going to mark top of the fret, and we are looking, where it's now flat on the top, we're looking to reshape it so we get that arc. And I'm looking for about a third, 0.03, well, about 0.03 of a millimetre to half a millimetre. And how we do it is, as I file, this is not a coarse file, it's a very fine one. As I file, I'm from behind the fret, I'm going to, as I file forwards and backwards, I'm going to arc it towards the camera, just so we start building up that arc over one edge. And once we've done that side, we'll come this side, and we'll arc, as we go forwards and backwards, we'll arc the file away from the camera. So we're going to build that arc both sides. Once we've done, I'll take a profiling file like this one, which is as a profile there, and what this will do is we'll just go over the top and remove the burrs, if there are any burrs there. Once that's done, we'll go with a diamond file. This is a 300 grit one, really quite fine. It's got diamond filings in there, same again as a profiling one, and that will just remove any deep scratches. But what we're looking to do is leave a black line just down the centre of that fret. And we're going to do it for all 21 or 22 frets, however many they are. And I'm going to zoom in just slightly and watch for this line down the top. It's just a matter of going forwards and backwards. We're hardly touching it there. I'm going to start arcing the file toward the camera now, ever so slightly. And it's just a matter of removing a little material, but always wipe clean file. And this is, I'm going to come this side. I'm going to slightly arc the file away from the camera. It's a very slippy slidey file, this one, so I just slipped across the top. It's not going to cause any damage, but we don't like to slip across the top. But there you go, and I've built up, from it being flat on the top, I've built up that arc, which is a crown. We now take the profiling file, we're going to do the same thing again, just going to wipe clean. Remove any excess burrs there. We have a really thin line down the top, so we've built up that crown. I'm going to finish off with the diamond file. And that is as much work as we need to do to crown a fret. Always clean the file after one fret, and then what I will do is I will check fret that we've not removed any excess from the top, and we've not. I'm going to move on to the next one, and this is what I'm going to do for all of the frets. So exactly the same again. I'll show you one more. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, by the way, just gone. It's already getting dark, so this video is going to be darker than my regular videos, but nothing I can do. I've got the wrong lighting in here. Anyway, I'm just going to slightly angle toward the camera, just to slowly build up that crown. I don't need a lot of material removing because I've not removed hardly any height from these frets, because I didn't need much removing. They're just a couple of high frets. So I'll make sure I get that nice uniform crown all the way across. And the profiling file. So just removing any excess burrs that are on there. The diamond file, which is a better one. See, the reason I can only really film during the daytime, because at night time it's too dark. But that is two frets done. Just check the height, and I will put my eye down there, and I'll just tilt this so I can see, and I'll just check the crown. I feel it with my fingers. And there you go. And I'm just going to turn slightly, and you'll see that we have these two frets beautifully crowned. You'll probably see if I come a little bit closer. Beautiful crown there, that beautiful arc, which is what we're looking for. Gonna go on, I've got 19 more to do. Is it 19 more? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 20 more to do, 22 fret of this one. So I'm going to crack on with that, get them all done. Once they have been recrowned, I'm going to move on to the polishing. I may get the polishing done without it coming on camera again, only because of the light, but I will come back and give you an update tomorrow. Okay, on to fret polishing, which I've already started. Now today is the 31st of December, in the year of our Lord 2018, so it looks like I'm going to get this done before the new year, which is fantastic. But anyway, like I say, on to fret polishing. And what I've already done is I've polished over the edges of the bevels and rounded them over using 600 grit paper. I've then moved on to 800 grit paper, polished the frets this way and this way. So going across, removing all the lines and the file marks and whatever that were put in this way. So we're polishing them all out. We're polished not to make the frets shiny, we also polish them to remove all the scratches left by the sandpaper and any file marks. Now I've already gone across with 600 and 800 grit. 4 more grits to go. I'm going to go with 1000, 1200, 1500 and 2000 grits. Once that's done, I'm going to go across with my polishing rubbers, and we have a coarse one. These are from Crimson Guitars, by the way. I didn't really believe in these when I got them, and I don't use them that often, but I use, a lot of people use these instead of sandpaper. I still prefer to use sandpaper, but I do this afterwards, after I've used the paper. So what these are a rubber compound with some grit built in. So this is a coarse one. I'll go through coarse, medium, fine and super fine. And does it really work? I don't know, but the frets shine after you've used them. And once that's done, I will finish off with the finest grade steel wool, which will bring them up to a beautiful glass-like shine. The frets are already looking good. The scratches are more or less already out, but I'm still going to go through the motions with this finer grit paper, go through the 4 grades I have to do, then the rubbers, then the steel wool. We'll bring these up to a glass-like shine. All the scratches will be removed, and all being well, with the frets bedded in, they will stay level. But I'm going to crack on, and I'll show you basically how I polish, and it's really easy. I polish, I get inside, right inside the edges, and go across the top. Now I've already got inside the edges on the 2 other papers, so I don't really need to get right inside now. It's just a matter of getting over the top of the fret and just polishing out any scratches we've got left in there. And it's really, really simple. It's a long-winded process, it takes a while, but it's so worth it. It's not my favourite job, I must admit, because it takes a lot of work, but it is so worth doing. And I'll just, this one piece of paper will do all 21 frets, by the way. It's just a matter, wet the back of your finger and it will grip the paper. And it's just a matter of going across the top of the fret. And once you've gone across the top, get into the corners. And that's pretty much it. And I'm going to carry on. And it is time consuming, but it is so worth it, just to get your frets super smooth and shiny. The guitar is going to play like a dream once these frets are all polished. And there you go, that's pretty much all I've got to do. I'm going to do exactly the same using the last 4 grits of paper I have, then the rubbers, then the steel wool, and the frets will be absolutely beautiful once I've done. I will come back and give you an update once these frets are finished. Well, fret friends, here we are, and I've refretted my very own Mexican Strat. Just as a reminder for everyone, I bought this Strat for £300 from a guy called Carl Bingham up in Doncaster. It's a 2007 model, I think. It's 2007, made in Mexico Strat. Check it with that there. It came with white dot inlays, all chrome hardware, white scratch plate, everything. I've upgraded everything. I've put gold everything on there, final thing being the gold frets, which I'll get back to in a minute. Fender gold tuners, blah 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 blah. gold string trees. We have all gold screws, a new gold bridge, a Wilkinson bridge. Every screw on the body, on the fingerboard, on the scratch plate should I say, is gold. I put a tortoiseshell scratch plate on there. We've upgraded with Oil City single coil pickups, and at the moment I have a Iron Gear Dirty Talk in the bridge. I've also bought a Tone Rider Dominator, is it, to try in the bridge. I've just upgraded the pots again up to Bourne's pots, which I've not heard yet. But let's get back to the frets. Jescar Gold Evo fret wire. I decided once I'd upgraded everything to gold, I'm going to put gold frets in there, and they've gone in beautifully. I used a couple of different methods getting these in, and it has worked really well. If you wanted to pause that there and go and zoom in on these fret ends and see how flush they are to the fingerboard, I've hardly had to remove. Filing the edge of the fingerboard was a lot easier because the fret tangs were cut to more or less exact width. There's only one that's gone slightly inside, which was there, which one was the second one I put in. I decided to leave it. They look absolutely fantastic. I've just finished polishing them. They look great. The nut is the original. Now I'm expecting this nut, you normally would expect the nut to be a little bit low because I've got new frets in, but the frets aren't mega high, they're about 1mm. So I'm probably going to get away with that nut. I'm not going to glue it in yet, but I would like to leave that nut there. So I'm going to get some strings on, get it all set up, get this back on the guitar. I'm going to get some strings on. If I've got enough clearance above the first fret, I'm going to leave this nut in, and I will glue it in. Now there's a tiny chip I got just on this edge. I will build that up with a little bit of dust. I've got some bone dust knocking about, and I'll just put a little tiny bit underneath and drop some super glue in there once the nut is on. So what remains for me to do now is I'm going to put the guitar, the neck back on the guitar as shown before. Gold plate, gold screws, not Fender, but they're good enough. The guitar itself, you will see I have a new gold switch in there. That is the Iron Gear pickup. These are the two Oil Cities. Everything is gold, every screw, everything. And the back plate, screws on the back plate are also all gold. So it looks fantastic, it looks really good. So I'm going to get it back together, we'll get some strings on, we'll test. I've got, like I said, I've got new Bourne's pots in there, not tried them. No push pull, we've got a split coil there, switch. It's going to look fantastic, isn't it? So I'm going to get it back together, we'll get some strings on, check the nut, and fantastic, can't wait, so back soon. And here we are with the neck back on the guitar, and this is all about the refret, so I'm just going to show, look at that, how good does that guitar look now. But this is a supplemental video to the video of all the upgrades. The supplemental video, just the supplemental just being the refret part. So that is the guitar refretted. I will link this to the video proper, because I didn't want to make a whole video 2.5 hours long. So I've got a separate video showing all the upgrades, everything done, including the pots, the pickups and all the gold bits. So refret done on my 2007 Made in Mexico Strat. It looks, I tell you, it's as good as an American now. It's absolutely fantastic. Look at that. Everything's been upgraded. Scratch plate, back guard there, all the screws. I've got a switch in there, new pots, new electrics, new bridge, new tuners. The final piece being of gold I work would be the gold EVO Gold frets. So they are done. This video is finished. I will link it to the upgrades video proper, my 2008 Fender Strat upgrades. But for now, that is this done. It's been great to do. I used a couple of new techniques getting the frets in, specifically cutting the fret tangs to the correct width before I inserted them, which made things a lot easier. But that is this one done. My name's Victor Christian. I'm your fret friend. Check me out at facebook.com/ng17. That's facebook.com/ng17. Like I say, I'm Victor Christian, I'm your fret friend. Happy New Year. It is the 2nd of January, in the year of our Lord 2019. Have a good time. Keep watching my videos, and as always, be good to each other, and I'll see you soon.